Okay, we are going to do day 115 multiplying mixed numbers. Okay, there are 4 methods to teach you. I'm going to teach you, let me see. There are 4 methods to teach you with. I'm going to teach you 2 today and 2 tomorrow. Well, we'll see how the time goes. Okay, the first one is ungrouping. Okay, this is super easy and super, I'd say this is probably the shortest one to do. You're going to have to deal with larger numbers, but it's the shortest one. So say we have 2 and 1/4 times 2 and 1/2. Okay, also what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve all of these problems or use all these methods with the same problem so you can see how I can get my numbers, how each method works with the same problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup it, times and plus, times and plus. So I know my denominator is going to stay the same. Okay, that does not change. Okay, 4 times 2 equals 8 plus 1 equals 9. 2 times 2 equals 4 plus 1 equals 5. The reason why is I'll show you with this one here. I have 1, 2, okay, that says I have 2 1/2, right? 2 and 1/2. If I ungroup it, I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're broken up into halves. Okay, they're not broken up into fourths or anything else. They're broken up into halves. One whole is broken into a half. That's why my denominator stays at 2. Okay, now because I'm multiplying, I don't have to have common denominators. I just multiply straight across. 4 times 2 equals 8, and 9 times 5 equals 45. Okay, now what I'm going to do is 8 into 45. I'm going to simplify or put it into proper. That gives me 5, 40, remainder 5. So my answer is 5 and 5/8. All I did is, this is my whole number, this is my remainder, and this is my denominator. Okay, that's the ungrouping method. If you want to, that's, I'd say, probably the easiest. If you want to do a method that, hey, I'm just going to learn it, do it, and not really care why, that would be, I'd say, a good method for. Okay, the next method is going to be area. Yeah, area. Okay, we're doing, once again, the same problem. Okay, so I'm going to break it into fourths. 2 and 1/4, 2 and 1/2. Okay, oh, sorry. It's a little hard for you to see. So what I have here, is I've broken up to 2 and 1/4 and 2 and 1/2. So here is 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 over 1, because remember, a whole number equals that number over 1. So here I'm matching here, get 2/4. Here I have 2 over 1, that's here, times 1/2. And then here I have 1/4 times 1/2. Okay, I just multiplied straight across. Okay, now here's a key or a secret kind of. Whenever you use this method, sometimes you might get where this has a denominator of a 2, this has a denominator of 4, and this has a denominator of an 8. And you're like, now I have to add them all up. So let's add them all up. 4 plus 1 plus 2/4 plus 1/8. Okay? So, oh my goodness, I don't know what to use. Always use the denominator in here. Always in the bottom right-hand corner of it, always use that denominator because it'll always go into both of them, because let's think about it. How do we get this number? By multiplying those two numbers together. So now I'm going to have 5 plus something over 8 plus something over 8. What I'm doing is I'm changing 2/4 into something over 8 because I know that is my common denominator. And I say, how did 4 get to 8 times 2? So 2 times 2 equals 4. How did 8 get to 8 times 1? So 1 times 1 equals 1. Now I add them up and I get 5 and 5/8. Okay? I'm going to teach you one last method for this because I want you to really see how this works. Tomorrow in class we're really going to be doing some centers and rotating and doing some stations with this so it can help you practice all of these methods and figuring out which one is best for you. The last problem is, we're calling it breaking it down. Actually, I lied. I'm going to show you the last method. I'm going to show you this method and then one more method. And then what's going to happen is I'm going tomorrow I'm going to do the kind of the same exact videos I'm doing today, except for with a new problem. So I'm going to really model for you how to solve a whole other problem using these same methods, okay? The last method I'm going to teach you is probably the trickiest and probably the one that's going to make you want to say, huh, what's going on? But it works, but it's a method that you don't have to master if it's not the one that you want to master. Okay, so we have 2 1/4 times 2 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to put over here, say 46 times 35. I use this just as a reference. When I'm starting this problem, I would do 5 times 6, right? I would say 5 times 6. So what I'm going to do here is 1/2 times 1/4. Right? The same method. Here I would do 5 times 40. Right? 5 times 40. Really we say 5 times 4, but because it's in the tens, we say 40. So here I want to do 1/2 times 2 wholes. Then I would do 30 times 6, right? That's in the tens column, so then I would multiply by 6, so 30 times 6. So then I would do here 2 times 1/4, 2 times 1/4. And then last I would do, I say 3 times 4, but really it's 30 times 40. So here would be 2 times 2. Now I've done that, I'd add it all up. Okay, well I'm still multiplying, so 1 times 1 equals 1, 2 times 4 equals 8. Remember this is over 1, so 2 times 1 equals 2. 2 times 1 equals 2, so that really equals 1 whole. 2 times 1 equals 2. Okay, a whole number's over 1. 1 times 4 equals 4. And then 2 times 2 equals 4. Now, I'm going to add them all up. I know I'm going to get 5 plus something over 8 plus something over 8. How did 4 get to 8? Times 2. So 2 times 2 equals 4, and that's 1. And I get 5 and 5/8. So what I did here was, this is the exact same thing as what we do right here. Sorry, it's kind of hard for you to see. When we do the area model, it's the same exact thing, except for that's more, it's forcing you to break it up. It's more of a visual way. Here, if the boxes kind of confuse you, then what you can do here is you just need to write it all out, and you're just doing the same pattern as you would if you'd be multiplying straight across. Now some people might say, why can't I just do 2 1/4 times 2 1/2? Why can't I just do 1/4 times 1/2 and 2 times 2 and get 4 1/8? Because really what you're doing is you're multiplying this here and you're multiplying this here. You're completely forgetting you need to multiply 1/2 by 2 and 1/4 by 2. You're leaving that out, so that's why you cannot multiply straight across. Okay, so I'm going to teach you the last method. It's probably the most confusing, so pay attention. You might want to just watch the video and then rewind it and then copy along with me. Okay, it is called the rectangle method. Okay, so I'm going to put up here 2 1/4 times 2 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to draw here a rectangle. Okay, and I'm going to break this into 4 again. Okay, I'm going to put 2 1/4 here and 2 1/2 here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let me see how I can do this the least complicated way. Get a piece of paper. Okay, I need to break this into 2, so I'm going to go all the way down. Okay, here I need to break this into 1/4, so I'm going to go here, here, and here, and I've gone all the way down, and as you can see, I've broken that into 1/4. Okay, but what I'm going to have to do, let me get a highlighter, is I'm going to need to color in 1/4 of the whole. Okay, it is super important that you do not just stop right there. Okay, you cannot just stop drawing your line right there. You have to go all the way down. Okay, now, if I'm ignoring those 2, I need to break this into 2 because I'm going this way. So I'm going to go all the way over. Okay, and then here it says 1/2. So I'm going to break this into 1/2, and I'm going all the way over as well. I don't have an extra highlighter with me, but I'm going to color this all the way over. Okay, so now what I have here is, I know when I multiply a whole by a whole, I get a whole. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 wholes. So I'm going to put a 4 down here. Now here I have this thing right here. What is it? Let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 2. Let's see. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So See, this method is confusing me even as a teacher, and I've done this for years and years and years. So I had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but if we colored those two in, we have, really, we have, oh, this equals a fourth, and this equals a fourth. So really we have 2/4 because these, even though it looks like there's 8, and that's why this is the confusing part, even though there's 8, we have 2 of 4s, okay? Plus here, this would become, let me think here, this is a, let's see, that's a half, because those are halves, and this is a half. So here we really have 1 whole because 2 halves together equal 1 whole. And then here we only have this one, and that's 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we can add them together, plus something over 8 plus something over 8. How did 4 get to 8? Times 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. 5 equals 1. 5 and 5/8. Okay, I know that looks super confusing, and I know I confused you with that one up there, but what I really, really, really want you guys to understand is that while this is confusing, what you are basically doing is it's a visual way for you to see. It's a visual way for you to see what goes where and how it goes there. But what the problem is trying to figure out which each box value, or which each box has a value. So we're really going to work on that tomorrow. Tomorrow's math video notes will be shorter, I promise. Okay, thanks. Come with questions.